So I have opened the completed model, what we're going to actually build, and I'm going to keep this open while we work through it. And I also have the file that you're going to download. And if I was to go to that, it is just a slab. And if you were to look at it deeper, like by going to level 1, you'd find that there were a bunch of grids already established. They're 20 feet wide. So we have a building that's 100 feet by 80 feet. And we have these secondary grids that are dropping back 4 feet, kind of a way of modulating the facade. Um, and if we went to an elevation view, you could see that I've already created levels, the podium being a large level, and then 12-foot increments of floor levels going up. So this will give you a really good, efficient start for kind of following along with this modeling technique. I don't want you to feel like you're locked into doing it exactly this way. If you want to do some modifications to it, but if you just want to move through it relatively quickly, you can follow right along with what I'm doing. So we'll go right to the first floor with this. So I've got the model view open right now, and I'm going to turn the section box on, and I'll pull this down until we expose the first floor. And actually, if I wish to show you this in a level view, you can see how we have a solid wall and it goes from grid edge, comes to the face of the grid edge. These are all centered. We'll just use the center line of all of our exterior walls. This one comes to that front edge. You can see how the podium glazing that we're going to use is stepped back that 4 feet. And then two bays back, we have a little return wall and then a curved section of podium. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So let's try to mimic that. So we'll go to now the file that you would download. We'll go to level 1 of it. This is what your file should look like. And if we were to grab the wall tool and grab architectural, you should have a drop down of a thick wall tiled, which is the finish that is shown in the 3D model that I've created. And I have the base offset that says 4 feet here. I want to correct that right away. That should be 0. I don't know why that does that. I don't know why we have a top offset of 4 feet here also. This may have been established. I changed some level lines and this may have affected things. Let's see if I can get a 0 in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and now try to draw that again. So I'm going to start up at the top grid and come all the way down to the face of this grid. And then I'm going to click off of that. I'll draw another wall, the same thing going in the other direction, all the way to the face here. And I've got this on chained, which may not be very useful, or continuous. So as I said, we're going to come back 2 feet with some of this wall also. So I'm going to grab it again, make sure that I don't have chain on, and I'll come back that 2 bay. We'll come up and we'll go back 12 feet here. And I'm resisting typing that in. And why am I still on chain? Just trying to make me crazy, I guess. Okay, so now we have most of the major wall we wanted. Now we're going to put in that podium glass, which is exactly what we constructed in the last module. So I'm going to go to wall architectural. The only difference for the podium glass that I've created is that it spans in one length that podium level. And I'll just draw this across here. And we're at level 1 going up to level 2. And I'll just touch that edge there. And that may be backwards, I don't know yet. We'll do the same thing up here. And then we want to create that kind of curved surface. So I'm going to grab a curve tool. And let's say we start in the center of this wall. And we'll go to the center of this wall. I want to go to the center outside edge. Let me just zoom in here. Or try to zoom in. There we go. It's a little sensitive. There we go. Sorry for that delay. And then we'll just pull this out. It says it can't make custom panel type. And I'm just going to not worry about that right now. So let's just take a little peek at this in a 3D view. I don't know if those warnings came up on your screen, so we'll just zoom in here. Sometimes I lose control because my mouse jumps to the other screen. I'm going to hit the space bar on these to make sure they all face out, and it looks pretty good. So now we have the start of our first floor, and next we'll take a look at adding a second floor on.